Okay, so what is your names and where are you from?
I'm Aiden, and I'm from Florida, Destin, Florida.
Okay.
I am Kmart. What's up, y'all? I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. Now you're from Florida. What can you tell us about Florida?
It's really hot, humid, and there's a lot of swamps and a lot of really
Yeah.
random animals that will just kind of come at you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're not as difficult to tame as
Yeah.
they lead you to believe. Like
Yeah.
an alligator isn't too bad.
Yeah. What do you miss most about Florida?
The heat, because it's winter right now and I am freezing.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good answer. I think I've heard somebody else say that too.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're from New York. What's the difference between Manhattan and the outer boroughs?
Well, I've been to I've been to all the boroughs at this point, and then
Yeah.
they all differ in their own ways. For
Yeah.
instance, like Brooklyn,
Yeah.
it's becoming a lot more expensive with
Right.
its demographic, I guess, and everything going on inside of public education and whatnot.
Yeah.
Everything's on the rise over there. Whereas close to Queens is definitely different over there. It's a different vibe, different sort of people.
Yeah.
You have to, you have to have a certain vibe to be in certain areas, and you have to know how to get down. It's always fun though. It's always fun to get to know people.
What is a common misconception about New Yorkers and what's the real deal?
Honestly, there are so many misconceptions.
Tell me what you thought about New Yorkers before you came here.
Okay, I was actually freaking out.
Or when
coming
you
up.
first got here, tell me like what did you think about New Yorkers?
What I thought about New Yorkers is that they were a lot nicer than I anticipated. them
Really?
to be.
So you didn't come here thinking like people were rude?
Oh, I came here thinking that they were going to be rude, mean. I thought I was going to get flashed as soon as I got off the train by some random man in a trench coat. And, anything could have happened. I was like completely worried and freaking out. Then I got here and I met like some of the most sweetest people in my entire life. And
Tell me the sweetest person you've met so far.
the sweetest
Other
person
than him.
that I've met. Oh yes, other than Kmart. Yes. The sweetest person I've probably met is probably this guy Alex.
Yeah.
Alex is a musician, just like this weird Jesus-y looking dude that just is so nice and just so friendly.
Yeah.
We sit around and we'll play music for hours, and it's a very fantastic time. Love singing with him.
Now let me ask you this. A lot of New Yorkers are leaving. Do you know any people who are leaving and where are they going?
I am.
You're leaving?
Yeah,
Where are you going? And
I'm
why?
probably gonna head to London actually. I wanna see what it's like over there. I heard it's like a lot like New York.
You mean Britain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm saving up my money this entire time.
But they're locked down though. How are you gonna get in?
I'll find a way. There has to be a way I can get over there. I know a couple friends over there that
Yeah.
can probably help me if need be. So
What are you expecting from London? Because let me tell you something. I'm sure you know. Before you go somewhere, you expect a place to be a certain way. Once you get there, it's a completely different story.
Oh yeah.
What are you expecting London to be like?
I'm expecting the unexpected.
Yeah. What part of London are you trying to go to?
Birmingham.
Birmingham?
Yeah.
Birmingham's like a whole other city, though. That's like in the Midlands. Okay. Birmingham's actually has a really thriving Afro-Caribbean community over there.
I have like two friends that live over there.
Yeah.
That, they're like, oh yeah, totally, you could definitely move over. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is something that I've always wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
Always wanted to
Birmingham's
see
got
everything out
a
of
good
it.
nightlife too.
I've never actually left New York more than twice in my life.
Really?
That is the most craziest thing.
What kind of places have you been to? I mean,
I've
you
been-
said twice, right?
I've only
What are
been-
those two places then?
They've all been, both times were in 50 states. One
Yeah.
was in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
and the other one was in Virginia.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Virginia and Massachusetts?
Virginia and Massachusetts were definitely big places. I got
Yeah.
to see some of the like more colonial times type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
deals, and it was definitely like it was cool as shit. Dude.
The
I really
architecture.
enjoyed it.
That's one thing I love about New York is the architecture, because I've been in a small town in Florida that's just
Yeah.
on the beach, so everything there just kind of looks like a little hut, and up here you have so many different types of buildings and structures, and just it's so amazing. Such an amazing.
But all the New Yorkers are trying to go to Florida. What's up with that?
Listen, I don't get it. There's nothing there. Like, just stay away from Florida. It's not.
Well,
it's
people
not
are
as
saying
fun.
it's cheap.
Yeah, the
People are
land is
saying
cheap.
that there's no taxes.
Not completely true. I mean, a lot of things are cheaper. Like, there is one thing I will miss is the fact that I used to only pay $5 for a pack of cigarettes, and up here it's like $15.
Yeah.
So
It's cheaper to smoke weed than it is cigarettes.
it is so much cheaper to smoke weed than cigarettes. So much. And now up here, weed is easily more accessible than it is in Florida. Completely.
Now, where would y'all be if you was? Well, you would be in London. Where would you be if you weren't in New York?
If I weren't in New York, I would actually be on a bus traveling throughout the U.S.
Really?
Just kind of wanting to see every place.
Just like a nomadic kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah,
exactly.
I feel you.
I would absolutely love to do that because, like, coming up here was kind of like my big, I'm going to leave my town finally. And then I came up to New York and had the best experience. So I want to continue doing that, like going to other places that I've never been.
Now tell me how y'all met.
What brought me to New York was actually a protest at City Hall.
Okay. You're part of this thing here?
No, not necessarily, but I mean, everybody was allowed to be there. It was just kind of like at City Hall, they were camping out there. And so I went out there to kind of see what was going on because I had seen all the stories in the news, and I was like, this is really great. And while I was there, Kmart happened to be one of the people that I met.
Oh, you met him at the protest?
Yeah.
Wow. So y'all have like a common political view.
Yes, we do. We do.
Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
I mean, sure. Like, what would you like to... More of a helpful system towards the way that we go about our living. Like, I wouldn't necessarily think that there would be anyone having less than me, and I would never consider myself to ever have more than anybody
Everybody
else.
has the same.
Everybody would have an equal amount, and I also feel like that division of power amongst communities versus amongst a government of people that will make the decisions for these smaller communities that are already taking care of each other. You know, that's not necessary. So I'm like, here for the idea of everybody in government and letting us actually take care of ourselves, because that's what we did while we were at City Hall. We were feeding people, we were giving people clothes, giving them shelter, helping people get their government IDs and social security cards if they didn't have them, helping people sign up for like food stamps and unemployment. It felt really good to actually help people that have something that they've probably never had before. And getting to be a part of that and seeing the fact that honestly sometimes someone just needs something as simple as one meal a day and like just a place to feel like they are safe, and that can go a very long way for their mental state and for their health and everything.
Because
actually my mom was actually in the military. Yeah, my mom.
So they had a reverse effect on you.
Yeah, it was kind of like I got to see the way that played a part of my life, the way that my mom was very...
So you learned from her mistakes?
Yes, I've learned from my mother's mistakes completely.
And my mom is a Republican. I vote independent every year. I generally see the aspects of both sides, and I'm like, both of y'all have good points. Why don't y'all just work together? And everybody just tells me, oh, that's never gonna be possible. And I'm like, only if you guys let yourselves do it.
But honestly, why do we need to have these people in power in general anyway when we could literally take care of ourselves? I mean, I don't think that anything is really getting solved with, our police force. Like, I mean, someone's getting shot and killed every single day. Someone's getting hurt. Someone just got ran over with a motorcycle last night.
Could y'all move back a little bit? Because I'm not getting like the full thing.
Sorry.
Okay,
someone got ran over with a motorcycle by a cop last
Oh, is that
night.
what happened?
Yes. And
you were there for the whole thing?
No, I was watching a live stream that one of my friends was at there. I was actually at another action that was happening. But I saw that and I immediately came right after because it was just kind of like, how do we just let this happen? As a society, and why is it okay to some people? Why do some people actually really not understand why people get so upset? I see people going like, oh well, I understand being mad, but you shouldn't be that mad. Well, no, honestly, a lot of people are mad, and they deserve to be that mad because this has been happening since our country began. We were founded with brutality, and we're still just living through it. And I feel like we could make a difference if we actually take the chance and
Also, I want to keep in mind and make it very clear, America, at the end of the day, is still a very young country.
Yeah.
What is it, like 200, maybe 250
Right.
most years old, as
Yeah.
compared to many other countries in that third world period.
Why even bother?
It's a damned either way. Whatever one you get, whether it was the one with the detrimental brain or the guy with the loud mouth.
Yeah. I mean,
personally,
I think a lot of, I think the whole.
That's why I voted. I didn't vote for either of them. I voted independent. 'Cause
Yeah.
That guy, honestly,
who's independent right now?
I forgot his name,
Yeah.
but that guy really advocated for workers and whatnot,
Yeah.
trying to get them more rights and better
Yeah.
pay, and honestly working for the people. Nobody looked at that guy, but everybody was so concentrating on, like, really just like jumping on the other two, just like.
Well, let me
I
focus
will
on the
say
bigger
why
picture.
I personally did not vote
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
I didn't vote because I just truly saw no point. I wasn't even in town to vote, so
Yeah.
I mean, I was like,
Right.
not gonna waste my time. I spent
Yeah.
my time elsewhere.
Yeah.
However, I do understand why people do feel the
Yeah.
need to vote, because whether or not you are fighting for like abolition or
Yeah.
you're fighting for certain rights, when you have a chance and you think that you could like actually make a difference, like
Yeah.
it's great for right now, because this is going to be a very long process. Nothing's
Yeah.
going to happen like
Yeah.
within like a month.
Yeah.
We're going to go through this for years to come, even probably after I die. Most
Yeah.
definitely after I die.
Yeah.
And this is a fight that has to be had.
Yeah.
But like in the meantime, do what you can to kind of
Yeah.
help yourself. And by helping yourself, that would be by going out and actually voting.
I'm not aiming for a political reason. It's more of a personal, more involved reason. These two people that I've
Right.
gotten to know over the years
Yeah.
are kind of trusted friends. And regardless of what political state I go to, I always have a neutral value to it. I am completely and utterly Switzerland in all of the senses of that metaphor. Because I don't. I just want to be happy. Honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
When I think about the idea of leaving the country just to go to another country, like for instance, like a lot of people don't talk about the police brutality that is in other countries, like Brazil.
Right.
They have the exact same cops but without zero training. You can just go and become a cop there. There's no training. Here we still have training, and then there's like police brutality. There with no training or anything, they are literally bludgeoning people in the middle of the streets, gunning people down.
Yeah.
And that is something that's happening not only there but in many countries elsewhere. But again, that's a battle that like it will take everybody to want to fight against. I mean, it's not just like, okay, so we're going to take care of one country at a time, because by then, like, we're only going to actually be sustaining in one country. So, I mean, it feels like everything would have to come together. And like, ideally, it doesn't sound like it could happen, but I've always been told if it can be thought, it can happen.
Someone who's lived 21 years on this earth and has experienced that sort of expectation, it's just something that happens, and either we work through it or we just sit there angry at nothing all the
And
time.
that's just, subsiding, just like you're just conceding to what they want. I feel like it feels like you're just accepting, like, hey, this is the way that my life has been, and now I'm just going to let it stay this way.
I will
if you want
sacrifice
change, you
everything
should
I
make
need
that
to
change.
sacrifice for my happiness, because that is what I want.
How can you be happy if everywhere you go, you are not even truly being yourself and allowed to actually live as yourself?
Yeah.
Who said you have to look at the world to be happy?
Yeah.
So where would you be to be happy? What would make you happy, truly?
My happiness comes from those around me. And as long as the ones that are around me are happy and are able to bring themselves up from whatever pain they're going through, I shall always rise to the occasion and keep myself moving.
Okay, so now, do you guys have any finishing statements to make? Because I gotta go to the bathroom.
Honestly,
Any shout outs? Any social media y'all want to plug?
yo, shout out to my boys at AP. You already know.
Shout out to Abolition Park. That's exactly what I was going to say. They are the reason I have come out here. You can find them on Instagram at Abolition Park.
Okay.
It just kind of will give you a general sense of who we are and what we like.
Okay.
Well, what we stand for.
All right.
They're a really great group. If it weren't for them, I would not have even stayed in New York. I really only came just to see what was happening, but I have used it as a learning experience, and now it's the most beautiful thing that I've ever been a part of. So
That sounds good.
very,
that sounds
very
good.
happy about that.
All right, do we have permission to put this on the internet?
Yes, you
Yes,
do.
of
Yo,
course.
deadass, yo,
All
like,
right.
subscribe, and hit
Yep.
that bell for more.
Word
you
up,
heard?
word up. Okay, yeah, it's